Welcome to Lapis Moon Tarot. Today we're going to do a new moon reading for the new moon in Capricorn, which happened early this morning if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, North America. And so we are going to explore what new energies are coming into your life with this moon, what you should focus on, what you've healed. And so just exploring what is in store for you for this new moon. So I've got 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile number 1. If you are drawn to this Aura Rose Quartz, this is your pile. Pile number 2, if you are drawn to the Snow Quartz, pile number 2 is for you. And pile number 3, if you are drawn to the Opalite, this is your pile. So I will give you a moment. When you have made your choice, the timestamps will be in the description and in the first comment. I will go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1, if you chose this Aura Rose Quartz, these are the oracle cards that I pulled for you. Let's take a look and see. Okay, meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. Interesting. Okay. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Okay. Flexible, number 19. Oh, this came up in the reverse. Imum coeli, I'm going to guess that's Latin, and it is the card of the root. So this talks about in your early childhood, your experiences in your home life, your community, and the values and traditions that have shaped you. And final card also in the reverse, this is channeling the goddess Skuld and the goddess of the future, however, in the reverse. Okay, I'm gonna take a moment here to sit with these cards. I do not look at them before the reading, so I just kind of hold them and sit with it during the reading. So yes, okay. A lot to do with your journey up to now. And I love that this flexible card also came up with you because nothing is set in stone. We can always create new traditions, new values, change our mindset, change our routines to reflect the type of life we want to build for ourselves, especially if our past life, if our home life was chaotic, if we didn't have nurturing relationships with our parent or parental figures, if the community we weren't in, wasn't supportive, right? So when we're looking at all of the cards together, this is really a call for this new moon to set up new beautiful habits and traditions for yourself that are more in line with what you want to receive in your life. So the meditate and contemplate the new moon Pisces. Pisces is a very sensitive sign. This is a water sign that is very empathetic, and be empathetic towards yourself. Always care for yourself first. Always set your own boundaries and feel your own feelings and process them first. This is so important, especially when you are a sensitive person, to always identify what are your own feelings and then what are the feelings of those around you, and then surround yourself with the people who are in line with how you want to feel. There's nothing that says that you have to constantly prove your worth, your care, your nurture with people who aren't on the same journey as you, who don't appreciate you. There is nothing, that says in this life that you have to be a martyr. So, that's kind of the situation that's been holding you back with your past, with maybe having been put in that nurture and care position before you were mature enough, because of the chaos that might have been in your household. This is a time to reflect on that and, kind of see like how that was not in your best interest, how that might have shaped you in ways where you were kind of forced to be in a mature position before you had the life experience and knowledge to get that maturity. And so, very unfair, and I'm very sorry about that. But I feel this new moon in Capricorn, because it is very much, Capricorn is a very determined, very hardworking, disciplined sign. It is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is very much about learning life lessons through consistency and discipline and humility, and just understanding, the rewards that come from hard work, and not hard work just like from a monetary point of view and studies and work at that brings you income. This is also work in regards to self-discovery, introspection, healing, trauma healing, therapy, whatever the work needs to be done right now to heal this root. Because in the reverse with this Imum Kweli, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that properly, we talk about how in early life, what was your sanctuary? What was where like your home life, where you felt safe? What were the qualities, the traditions, the relationships that made you feel supported, loved, safe, cared for, rooted in the earth? So I believe the definition of this is talking about the spine that goes down into the earth and roots into the ground. So it's very much also relates to your root chakra. So of course, in those of us who have not had a childhood that was supportive with grown-ups that were safe around us, that can feel like a shaky foundation. And there's nothing holding you back now to change that. Because with this flexible card, I really look at it more like neuroplasticity, like how the wiring of our brain, the neurons, the connections that we've made early in childhood, you know, up to a certain time period, we felt those were like set in stone, that we couldn't change the wiring that we got early in life. However, newer studies have shown that neuroplasticity is absolutely available to us at any time, at any age. So I would look into that. Like, how can you rewire the early responses, the triggering, the trauma that you have possibly experienced in your early life so that you aren't held back from your future? Because this future card in the reverse, it kind of talks about, I see it in two ways. One, where you're letting your past hold you back. So the stories that you're telling yourself, how you, the experiences that you have that are holding you back, you're kind of replaying it in your mind. And of course, the more we focus on something, the more of that same energy we call into our life. And it is very difficult to break out of it sometimes because it is traumatic. So that is why it's so important to do the healing work, to dig deep, to do the introspection, to look at what happened, to feel the feelings, to acknowledge that, you know, it wasn't okay, and to get the help that we need. Because neuroplasticity, this is absolutely available to you. I mean, it's really amazing that we live in a time where psychology is really spoken about. We know so much more about the brain, about the importance of the nurture and the care that we need as, you know, in early development. However, also the amazing power we hold in ourselves as adults now, that might have had bad experiences in the past, where we don't allow those experiences to hold us back, to shape us, to restrict us anymore. And so with this new moon and Capricorn, it's kind of talking about like, be disciplined enough, be strong enough, you know, persevere enough to work on yourself, to put yourself first, to do your own healing. This is an amazing opportunity, and it's being highlighted here, for you to change the things that you don't like, this, you know, in your life. When you're doing that introspection, when you're looking at your life, your relationships, your career, you know, your goals, where you, how you live, how you feel, how you think, everything that you look at, and make a list and write it all out and say, these are the things that, you know, aren't bringing me joy, aren't making me happy. And I would highly suggest making another list right next to it and saying, for this new moon in Capricorn, these are the things I do want to bring into my life: loving, caring relationships, with friendships, with maybe a romantic partner, children, pets, whatever you need. You know, this is the type of home I want. I want my home to be a sanctuary. I want to feel rooted there. I want to feel safe there. I want it to feel like it's a home space where I can be myself without having to have my guard up, without having to walk on eggshells and, you know, think of everyone else's feelings first. You know, time to put your own emotions and your own feelings first, and keep those boundaries up while you're doing this healing, because you don't want to fall back into patterns because of perhaps allowing still people from your past who might have caused you this heartbreak, this anxiety, this, you know, the traumas that you might have gone through, to seep back into your life and kind of undo all the work you're trying to do. Like, sometimes it's really important to hold up our boundaries with people who aren't doing the work themselves. You know, we can't do it for other people. We can only do it for ourselves. So keep that in mind when you are on this journey, to not allow your home, your inner sanctum, to be disturbed by people who aren't meeting you where you are, so that your future is bright. So that's one thing I see there. And then another thing too is, with this future card, you know, I know that the reverse meaning also means like being too focused on a future that's very like far out, that it's so grandiose that you feel like you can't possibly get there. Putting it like so far out in the, this is part of manifestation too, when we say like, oh, I hope in the future things get brighter for me, or I win the lottery, or I have that perfect relationship. Sometimes when we keep saying in the future, we're actually manifesting that it will happen in the future, and it keeps being pushed back because we keep saying future in that sentence. And I hope I'm explaining that correctly. So you're never going to actually achieve it because you're constantly pushing it out to say, at a future time, I want these things. So it's really important to focus on the now. I am calling in healing right now. I am calling in the right people to come into my life, the right therapies to come into my life, in a way that I can apply them consistently with discipline so that the healing takes root. And therefore, from that place of healing, I can manifest the life that I want right now, the loving relationships, the sanctuary of my home, the peace, the harmony, all of the things that you deserve in this life. So I hope I've explained that correctly and clearly. So this is what I see for your oracle cards. Very much available to you, this healing, this flexible card. You can look into neuroplasticity. You can look into, I feel like tapping. Tapping is a type of therapy where, if I'm not mistaken, when you are being kind of hounded by negative thoughts or thoughts that you're trying to reprogram, you do tapping on the body, and apparently like that helps you release the negative patterning or conditioning that you've had in the past. So that might be some kind of therapy that you might look into. I feel somatic therapy, releasing the trauma, the hurt, the negative energies that might be stored in our body. That might be another kind of therapy you might look at. Talk therapy, of course. I am not a professional, so I just see what the cards are showing me. And so this is, the suggestions that I have for you. And if they resonate, it's really up to you to get your journey and your path up to where you need it to be, to live the life that you want. Because it is absolutely possible for you. Like, I love this flexible card. I love this meditate and contemplate. I love the don't let your past hold you back, but it's so narrowing you down. It's telling you, like, specifically, what the actual issue or root issue might be. And from there, you are very welcome to take that information, process it, sit with it. Does it resonate? Do you need to make changes? So, yeah, let's pull some tarot around here. So let's see if there's any other further messages that your energy for this. Wow, the Tower and the Death card. Okay. So we just went through the Scorpio moon in eclipse moon. And so the reason I say Scorpio is because the Death card is showing up here. Tower kind of gives me Scorpio vibes as well, because what the Tower does is it highlights the fact that something that you really felt was on solid foundation in your life, when it comes crashing down, it really shakes up your life. It really makes you reevaluate every single thing that you thought or held as a strong belief. So this could be the end of a relationship. This could be the end of a career. Maybe you were passed over for a promotion. Maybe your job is, they're trimming down, you were let go. Maybe this was a friendship that you thought was a lifelong friendship, and it came suddenly crashing down, and you saw some truth about it now in retrospect, that maybe it was never in a solid standing. Maybe it was all one-sided. Maybe it wasn't reciprocal. Maybe your job wasn't in alignment with what you want to bring in the light into this world, and it wasn't in alignment with your values. So I absolutely see that there was like a major event that happened, and it could have happened during this past Scorpio eclipse season, and it was heavy for a lot of us. That season, it really made us dig deep, reevaluate our lives, and bring up like past emotions and past traumas and past issues that we keep kind of sweeping under the rug, because Scorpio doesn't do that. Scorpio digs deep and wants to heal, because when they resurface, they rebirth, into their new healed higher self. And this is a continual cycle. We're constantly learning, we're constantly healing. That's why Scorpio is represented by the Phoenix. This Death card, though, it talks about how you might be still holding on to that hope, that past, that you thought was a strong foundation for you. So you're having a hard time letting it go. And because of that, it's kind of like almost wishing for things that don't serve you, but because you're so used to them, you feel like that's normal, that's home, that's the chaos is actually like the norm for you. And if something beautiful and harmonious and calm and loving were to come into your life, you'd feel like almost like it's boring or it's too stagnant or it's, it's not exciting enough because you were programmed to think that the chaos was normal. And so I would really sit with, again, that meditation and contemplation. Why do you feel that way? Why are you not letting go of things that obviously we're not on a solid foundation in order to allow for things that are a better alignment with you, to come in? And there's healing involved in that. Otherwise we then just repeat patterns and go back to relationships that aren't reciprocal or kind to us, or we go and take another job just for survival mode. And I understand that. Everybody needs to eat, everybody needs a place to live. And sometimes we do that. We just work really hard at a job that we don't like because we need to pay bills. But there should always be this healing on the side, this hope, this, working on ourselves, figuring out who we are, what we want in our life, so we can call in and align better with a different career path, with a different, opportunity, and that we are open to seeing that opportunity when it comes by. So, that's one way to kind of deal with that. Let's see. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, so I feel this might have been a job just because it feels like you were really stuck in it just to do the work. It was hard work, but it was just to pay the bills. It was not fulfilling. It was, a dead end job. Like, it was just to get it done. And it didn't really challenge you either. Like, you kind of maybe did it because it was familiar to you. It was easy. You didn't have to deal with, possibly failing at it. That's sometimes what we do to avoid uncomfortable feelings, especially if when we grew up, we were taught that we needed to be perfect at everything, and it's really hard for us to fail or get criticism. So then we don't really just try hard, or try new things because we're so afraid of being judged as not good at something. But what I see here with Ten of Pentacles, what is coming towards you is legacy building wealth. It is a type of wealth where you can leave it for your children. This could be an inheritance, this could be a windfall, this could also be you finally aligning with your purpose in life so that you can create something amazing, like something so wealth building, where you feel like every comfort, like a Ten of Pentacles is a completion card. So like it would be like the end of the cycle. Like, you look back on your life and you say like, wow, every single thing happened for this reason so that I could align with this career or this business or this opportunity. And I build this beautiful life where I have every luxury and I am so abundant and bountiful that I can also take care of all my loved ones. Beautiful energy coming your way. Let's get one more for this new moon in Capricorn. And that's very Capricorn too. Capricorns are very they're, I don't want to say obsessed with comfort and wealth and money, but they understand, they're an earth sign, so they understand that this is the life we live in, this is the world that we live in. And you know finances and monetary gains and wealth are the ways that we gain comfort and luxury, and we also gain back our time in this life. But they are willing to work for it. They are very, very disciplined. They're very goal oriented. It's, they're called the sea goats. So they go from the water, they're very intuitive, and they take that knowledge and that intuition and they climb the mountain to the top. So it's not that they're just kind of sitting in wish-washy and kind of like, oh, I just want wealth, and then they just sit back and hope for it. They really put in the work. And so this is absolutely the energy that's coming in for you. Like, to sit and meditate and contemplate about what you want to attract in your life. We got two, so I'll take them. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. I love this for you so much. You've got the Star and the Page of Cups. So the Star talks about having hope and having a wish fulfilled. So whatever is deep in your heart, whatever you might have even like been too scared to hope for yourself, it is coming your way. It is, time for you to shine, to have your dreams come true, to, have ease, have flow, whatever it is that's deep in your heart, because you have been through it, my love, and you're kind of seeing now the patterns of your life. You're kind of seeing the journey that you've been on. And I mean, you're listening to a tarot reading, so I feel like you're looking for answers, you're looking for healing, and you're going to be rewarded for the work that you're going to do towards your own healing and your own fulfillment. And what I love here with the Page of Cups, this is one of my favorite, because Page of Cups talks about dream big, be as, wishful as you want. And it will come true. It's like kind of like in this like energy of, like an innocence of a child where they haven't been told that things are not possible, so they believe everything is possible. Be in that positive, amazing, manifesting, co-creating energy, but do it from a place of solid foundation and roots, and like um, discipline to work towards it as well. I feel like that's where this future card comes in, where Capricorn new moon is trying to teach you that it's okay to dream big, but you got to also work towards it. You got to make a plan. You got to sit down with yourself. You got to write out, your goals, look at them daily, like, meditate on it, take steps. If you like art, maybe take like a art class in a community center. If you want to get, different modes of income towards you, maybe you look at social media, you open a YouTube channel, you go on Instagram, maybe you do Etsy, maybe you're good at crafts or art, or you do something very exceptionally well. Like, look at where your life could be doing the things you love, and then take steps towards that. That's what I see for you here. Let's get you one more oracle advice card here. I just love this for you. The Star and the Page of Cups, like, so beautiful. And the Ten of Pentacles, like, you will be successful. Capricorn wants that success for you. Like, it's just, make a plan, put it in action. Do the healing. Accept the gifts from the universe. You deserve all the beautiful things in your life. I love that. And I love that's the 10 card as well, over the 10 of Pentacles. 1010. 1010 talks about, actually, 1010 talks about, if I'm not mistaken, the angel number, about good things coming your way. Like, really, truly believe that, that it's on its way to you. And work and kind of be flexible with your life so that you allow it in. Don't hold on to the past. Don't hold on to things that were already flowing out of your life, that already crashed down, because this beautiful life is coming towards you. I hope that helped, and if it did, please go ahead and like this video. If you felt that it resonated, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and if you so feel inclined, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Pile number 2, if you picked this snow quartz, and this is your reading. So I pre-shuffled your oracle cards, so let's take a quick look to see what comes up here. Actually, I'll show them to you one by one. Surrender to the divine. Full moon. Interesting to get a full moon card on a new moon in Capricorn. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. We just went through the Scorpio eclipse season, so there was a lot to work through. I don't know if it felt heavy for you guys, but it felt heavy for me. I am a Scorpio sun, and there was a lot of stuff that came up during the Scorpio eclipse season to be reworked, to be looked at, to be introspected on. And what I think I love about this is that you might be in a stage now in your life where you feel like you can surrender your fears to the divine. Like, your faith has really strengthened in the last little while, and you truly believe in divine timing, in the divine protection, in God's plan for you. And so it's really helped you work through any fears and insecurities you might have had, with these two cards coming out side by side. Let's see what else has come up. Co-create. I love this. Yes, that's what I felt like. You're tapping into your faith, your belief in the divine, and so that puts you in an amazing position to co-create with the divine, to be in a surrender of flow and ease when it comes to manifesting in your life, to understand that God's timing is the best timing, that if something you really wanted doesn't pan out, it's God's protection because something better is coming towards you. Or you might have gotten that thing and found out that it's no longer really what you wanted, or things have changed, and that's totally okay. You're okay to change your mind. You're okay to change your manifestations, to change your goals. And with this being a Capricorn new moon, it's really about goal setting. It's really, Capricorns work really hard. People say they're like obsessed with like wealth and status and money, but it's because they're an earth sign. They're a hardworking earth sign. They have a lot of discipline. They're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is all about making sure that your discipline is on point, that you're consistent, and that you set goals and you achieve them. And so, they may look like they're one track minded, but it's because they have amazing drive, amazing self control, amazing discipline. And so that might be coming in for you as well in this new moon to establish a routine with your co-creation. Establish, something that's just really all your own when it comes to how you pray, how you manifest, how you tap into this co-creative energy, how you surrender. Maybe you have a space in your home that's kind of your meditation prayer space. Maybe you keep a journal there. Your favorite things could be there. I'm not saying to go and buy crystals, but they could just be things that really are profound and meaningful to you. And you create this little space where when you are in that space, it's like your time to go introspective, to look and rework your goals, to journal, to sit in stillness and mindfulness, and you make that part of your routine. It's now a discipline. It's now a ritual that is daily and consistent, and that might do wonders for your co-creative manifestation. Goals. Wow, Pluto, the rebirth. I love this. So Pluto roll. I got shivers. I don't look at these cards before the reading. So okay, so much. Pluto rules Scorpio, which is amazing because we've just left the Scorpio eclipse season. We've just left that sign to enter into Capricorn. So I mean, yes, we had Sagittarius, but this, the eclipse season, it kind of drags. There's a long process there when we talk about eclipses. Like their energy spans a large portion of time, and for you, I think it was really impactful because with Pluto in the reverse here, it talks about how you really went deep. You had to do that digging deep into, Pluto also, like it's kind of like a planet of the underworld. It's death and rebirth. So you guys actually felt really drawn to go introspective. Like you might have even been in like hermit mode during that season in order to really get to know yourself, to understand patterns that you're repeating in life, to understand why you feel the way that you feel, examine your spirituality, connect with your angels, connect with your guides. You really went into that kind of esoteric introspection mode, trying to figure yourself out and how you see yourself in the universe, in this, amazing opportunity, this life that we have where we can actually create beautiful experiences for ourselves, and experiences that are fulfilling and are here for our souls to grow, to learn. And we wanted this when we were on the other side. So this life is a birth, this awakening is a rebirth. And so what I see here, and I apologize for the noise, my cat has seen a spider on the window and he is just very excited about the prospect of catching a spider, and I'm hoping the little spider gets away. Simba, no. Simba, no. Honey, no. Okay, yeah. All right. So Pluto, yes. So in the reverse, so a little bit of maybe hesitance, and again, fear, fear of looking at the things that might have been holding you back, at doing that kind of work where, you're finding more about yourself, you're finding your place, you're finding where you stand in your beliefs, and maybe your beliefs have shifted as well. Maybe you were raised very traditionally with a more traditional religion, and now as an adult, going through the life experiences that you have been through, you're kind of finding your own way back to spirituality, to your belief system. And so this is like, these are major energies to be working with. And so you've done this work, but it's a little scary. You feel like unsure about how you feel about your spirituality now, how you feel about how you connect with God and speak to God and pray to God, how you want to co-create. Oh, I love this final card, the Earth, Gaia. Okay, beautiful. One thing I will say is that um, we forget that we are souls in bodies sometimes in this world, in this life. And so sometimes we get so caught up on our spiritual journey when we're going through an awakening, like, what our beliefs are, how we're going to pray and manifest, and, doing the inner work, and healing the wounded child inside, or healing past traumas, and looking at them from a spiritual lens of soul growth. And, maybe we're also into esoteric things. Maybe we like tarot, we like oracle cards, divination tools, we meditate, all that beautiful spiritual growth. But we forget that we are also in a body, and that body is part of the earth, and we need to also take care of ourselves. We need to be nourished. We need to nourish our soul and our body. We need to be nourishing, in a way that is harmonious with the body that we live in. So that means, our body requires certain things. We need fresh air. We need, nourishing food. We need clean water. And we need to have enough sleep. We need time in nature because we are part of nature. It is very healing to go for walks. They call it forest bathing. There's, scientific studies that talk about how your heart rate drops when you're in the forest, how walking by the ocean, by a river, in the woods, there are chemical changes in the brain that occur that allow us to, let go of stress, that lowers our cortisol levels. I mean, all this beautiful stuff. It's kind of like, let's merge and marry the two. You can have this beautiful spiritual relationship, with God, with the universe, with the angels, all of the things that are kind of behind the veil, but also have a beautiful relationship with your body, accepting yourself fully for what you are as this, being on this earth, experiencing, this beautiful life, experiencing things like, if you are able, sight and sound and touch and feel and taste, and all of those, palpable human experiences, as well as your emotions. And then also, appreciating where you are. I feel like Capricorn is kind of maybe also telling you, like, is your space like set up in a way that best supports you? Because Capricorns are very organized, in a way too. Like, their discipline is in many ways. Maybe it's time to clean your space. Maybe it's time to bring more plants into your space, more, maybe a pet, something that connects you back to nature, that brings in a sense of sanctuary into your place, a sense of calm, a sense of order, so that you feel able to manifest and co-create and do all the things that are spiritual as well. Maybe it's a time to clean out the pantry and the fridge, and bring in more healthy choices, being more mindful in the way that we are approaching our daily routines. So we're not just like work, 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 or looking at spiritual work as work, work, work. This should feel easy. This should feel like flow. And the way that we make it easy on ourselves is kind of having the discipline to plan ahead. Your meal planning, you're making sure you have healthy choices available, you have a designated space for your spirituality. You found routines that work for you. Make time for time in nature. And I know it's winter season, so this, still a walk in fresh air and sunlight does wonders for you. And again, bringing in plants into your space. Like, I love this card. The greenery on this card, it's peaceful just looking at it. So that's what I get here. It's kind of like you're processing through your beliefs and your practices in spirituality, and that's what Capricorn is bringing towards you, in order to manifest your goals and your life the way that you want, your life to kind of pan out. Like, it's very interesting. That's what I see for you. Group number 2, very cool. Love that. Working through your fears, yeah, surrendering to the divine. I mean, you're on the path. It's just kind of like modulating it to what works best for you. And Capricorn would do that. They're very goal oriented. They're very hardworking. Their perseverance is amazing. And so it's time to let go of what you feel spirituality should look like, what you feel a connection to the divine should look like. It's time to go inwards into what it should feel like for you, so that you're best equipped to co-create. Let's get some tarot cards as well. See if there are any more further messages that want to come to you for this Capricorn new moon. Number 2, Ace of Cups in the reverse. So this talks about, I think it's, right under the work through your fears, talks about your fears might be tied to feelings of unfulfillment. And so if you feel like, you've had times in the past where there were relationships that were available to you, there are friendships, there are opportunities, even like business opportunities and partnerships that have come forward to you, but you might have missed those opportunities, or they might have kind of like flown over your head because you were not in a place to see them as such. You were kind of in this blocked off energy, like, no, I don't have time for this, or no, I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want to go through the negative emotions of love again. I don't want to have more disappointment, more heartbreak in my life. So you've kind of blocked yourself, your heart, from new people coming in. So that might have been a fear that came up for you during the Scorpio eclipse season. To look at that as to why, because when you put up walls, you're also blocking the good people out. You're also blocking people who are aligned with you, who would be in a loving reciprocal relationship with you, whether it's friendship or romantic. It's like that poem from Rumi when it talks about, when you're looking for calling love into your life, look within yourself to break down the walls you have put against love, within yourself. And so it's not talking about letting everyone in. We're not opening the floodgates. Like, that's not what we're doing here. We are just examining our own beliefs about love and what it should be and how we want to call it into our lives, and then examining our behaviors, our patterning, our thought patterns when it comes to when someone does approach us. Like, how do we react? How do we discern if they're a good person or not? Or do we just kind of shoot down everyone and just say, like, no, forget it. I'm not even going to give anyone a chance. So just to look at that if it resonated. The Hanged Man, yeah, you're in a surrender. You're kind of at the point where you're just like, I'm going to let God, guide. I'm going to listen to my intuition, to my angels, to my guides. I'm going to connect and surrender to what is in timing for me right now. And that's beautiful. That's kind of letting go of the illusion of control over parts of your life, and that usually does happen during a spiritual awakening. So I kind of love that for you. It's really like on point, especially surrender to the divine. And the Hangman is a surrender. It's a pause. It's kind of like a moment where we recalibrate. I love that. Oh, it's too many. I'm just going to take one at a time. Again, too many. One at a time, please. I'm going to take 3 more cards for group number 2. Any further messages that want to come forward? Page of Cups, beautiful, beautiful card. You are opening up to all the possibilities and hope and faith in, God and the universe and this life again. I love this page. I believe the last group got it too, because it talks about kind of almost reconnecting with that innocence we had as a child, where no one told us that things weren't possible, so we felt everything was possible. And so, that kind of energy out into the world. And I love it that it came after the surrender card, because when we do surrender to the divine and we kind of say, hey, these are the things I wish for, but I wish for these or better, and I leave it up to God to see what comes into my life and the opportunities that come my way. Because when we do that, something might come along as an opportunity that you didn't even think of, dream of, like you didn't even think it was within the realm of possibility, because you've left it open, left that open-endedness of, I wish for this or better. And that's when you start seeing what surrender to the divine, what co-creation can really bring in your life. Because then, it's like you've learned the lessons and you're leveling up to the next thing. And so as you level up, you do see beautiful fruition. You do see completion in a lot of dreams that you've been, asking for. And it's, it's a journey. So even where you are right now, 10 years ago, like that person that you were, couldn't have imagined all that you've learned and all the wisdom that you've accumulated and the experiences, and I'm hoping a lot of them were better than not, that you have lived through up to now. You're a very different person you are now than you were 10 years ago. So always leave it open-ended, this or better. Be dreamy. Let's get 2 more. 9 of Wands. Yep, you have been through it, my love. This is a card of beautiful perseverance and resilience, right? So the 9 of Wands is like, you had to struggle, you had to really like work hard, you had, you know, grit all on the way to where you are right now. And I can see that because you are working through the fears. You understand a lot about how hitting rock bottom is kind of almost like the catalyst that some of us need in order to have the spiritual growth, in order to have that awakening. You know, something major happens in our lives where we have no choice but to have faith and to have surrender into what is divinely ordained for us, while still working on our goals, while still dreaming, while still doing the inner work. Um, and so I see that this is like a reward, you know, for your resilience. And Capricorn is all about resilience as well. You know, they have grit. You know, they climb that mountain to the top with grit and determination. And this, you know, this 9 card too, you're almost to the 10 of Wands. You know, you're almost to completing that cycle of grit and determination where the 10 of Wands, you know, you look at all the burdens you've been carrying and then you evaluate like, why am I carrying all this? Do I need to carry all this? It's time to put, you know, all the burdens down. And that's like the completion of this part of the journey. You know, 10 cards are always completion cards. So you're like, you're there. You know, I just want to like give you encouragement. Like, you're almost there. You're figuring it out. You're starting to like understand, like, let's assess what is working for me and what's not. Let's get more of what we want in our lives. Let's, you know, ask for better. Let's dream. Let's have faith. Let's surrender. One final card for my group 2. The moon, haha, for the new moon card. I love that. And it's in the reverse, which I kind of love, because the moon in the reverse is talking about releasing fears. It's talking about the truth of the situation coming to light, bubbling to the surface. Your understanding, you know, increases. You get clarity. That you do this by listening to your intuition, by going within, by, you know, that introspection, that meditation, that surrender to God. That's when things start clarifying. That's when the water's clear. I love this so much for you. What a beautiful card to get. So I hope that brought clarity for you. I hope that brought kind of like a map to what needs to happen for you for this, like, you know, if you so choose, for this new moon in Capricorn. And there's a lot of guidance that came through for you on this reading. I love that. Let's get you one final oracle card. You get 2. Why not? All right. Let's separate. You are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. I love that. Beautiful. You know, this Ace of Cups, this locking everyone out. One way to lose yourself in a relationship is to not have boundaries and to kind of that codependence. And so that might be something that kind of comes up for you when you're doing this like work, this healing work. And you know, it's okay. I mean, we've all gone through different experiences in childhood that, you know, codependence comes through when our needs haven't been met. And so you might have discovered that about yourself, and you're working on making yourself whole again, making, you know, sure that you're investing your love and your care and your nurture in yourself first, in order to feel that wholeness, which, you know, you are very deserving of. But be careful not to just do a block, like that wall we were talking about, where you block everyone out. Like, if that was what you're trying to avoid, is codependence again, fair, like, you know, like, that's something to heal through. But don't block all love, don't block all relationships, don't block all friendships out from your life because you have this fear of perhaps codepending on someone again. Everyone in your life is teaching you something. Are you learning? Question mark. Book of Life. Yeah, you know, I do get that you've had a lot of wisdom, you know, in the experiences that have brought you up to here, that have kind of like initiated this awakening for you, the spiritual awakening for you. Those beautiful cards. I hope this reading has helped you. If you so feel inclined, please give me a like, send me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you so wish, you can subscribe to my channel for further readings like this one. Thank you so much for joining me. Group number 3, if you chose this opalite crystal, this is your reading for the energies of the new moon in Capricorn. Hold your vision, fixed moon, beautiful. Poised, oh, I love this for you. You have all the tools at your disposal. I apologize, my cat is in the room. All the tools at your disposal. You are confident in your abilities, just poised to get the vision that you want, to get the goal that you want, and which is amazing energy to have during Capricorn season, because Capricorns, they are the seagull. They have these amazing intuitive abilities, but they're all with the water, with the being in the water at the beginning of their journey, and then they get out of the water and they climb the mountain to achieve their goals. They have grit, they have perseverance, they hold their vision, and they have the confidence, the discipline, the perseverance to know that they can achieve their goals. Love that for you. 11th house of community, beautiful, and humor in the reverse. Okay. All right, so what I see for you, group number 3, is the fact that you definitely have a goal, a vision, a idea in mind. You have all the tools, the grit, the perseverance, the ability to get it done. You know that you will be successful. One thing that, oh, I love 48, 49. Oh my God, and 50. Wow, 48, 49, and 50. That's incredible. I don't look at these cards before I pull them or flip them, but like amazing. Okay, sorry, I just got sidetracked. So very much like this tells me like you're in alignment, like everything is step by step. So here are the steps. You have the tools, you have the confidence. Get the community in line. If this is a job, if this is a business, if this is a goal that you're working on, have the people in the right places. How do they work together? What's the most cohesive way to make sure that the goal is achievable, that it is attainable, and that everyone is working beautifully together. There's cohesion, there is respect, there is vision, there is a plan in place. And as a Capricorn, leadership skills are really your forte as well. So you might be the person that's organizing this. You might be the person that's making sure that the way that the groups are interacting, that the way that the partners are interacting are in the most beneficial way for this goal to be achieved. But what I see also with this humor card in the reverse is like, have the vision, have the goals, have the tools in place, but this is also life, and the thing with Capricorns is they are, a little bit tunnel visioned when it comes to their careers, their successes, reaching their goals, amounting wealth. This is kind of like the kind of the stereotype, let's say, of the sign. But like, don't forget to also enjoy the journey, to love the successes, to take time to celebrate how far you've come, to celebrate the successes, to take time to spend time with your friends, your family, even your coworker, these teams outside of work. Like, not always talking about shop. It's okay to joke around. It's okay to find humor in things. It's okay to bring joy into your workplace, into your daily routines, because Capricorns are very methodical. They're very disciplined, and they're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is all about how far we can get with consistency and discipline. And you have that. I see it because you're poised for the success, you're poised for the vision to come in and take root and be successful. All of that is in place. But life is not just about the accolades and the recognition and getting your goals accomplished. It's also meant to be an emotional experience of joy and happiness and fulfillment, and making deep connections with people, whether it's just work community, but also your friend circle, your spiritual circle, your family circle. And so, like, don't forget all of the different facets of why you even want to achieve your goals. It could be that you started off this vision because you wanted better for yourself and your family, better for your loved ones. Don't lose sight of that, working so hard towards your goal, because the community, that was your original igniting spark to want to create this opportunity, this business, this career path for yourself. That's what I see here with these oracle cards. I hope that resonated. I'm going to get you some further clarity with some tarot here. So this is very, very lovely. Hold your vision and poise, to get that during Capricorn season and the new moon. Really talking about how you're doing all the right things. Capricorn really appreciates persistence, grit, determination, clarity in your goals, goal setting, having the strategy, having a plan in place, being consistent towards it. It's just maybe the other side, like, don't forget why, don't forget the people, that you're doing this for. Don't forget your close relationships, your friendships, your romantic relationship, your family. You don't want to get to the top and just be on your own. And let's get you some tarot. First card, Ten of Wands. Yes, put down the burdens, you know, put down all of the extra responsibilities and kind of like extra work that you're putting on yourself. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. You can absolutely achieve your goals without working 24/7, without being overburdened, overtired, overcommitted. It's time, you know, and you're learning that with the season. The Ten of Wands is a completion card, and it talks about understanding, coming to the end of the journey. It's like, this is the end, this is the completion. You get how to prioritize now. You get that your time is also valuable, that where you put in your passions and your goals and your hard work is absolutely valuable, and it should be self-determined. You should decide what is the most important things to carry, so they're not dragging you down, the weight's not bringing you down, that you're not feeling tired and exhausted and depleted. The work should feel fulfilling and uplifting, but not if you're, you know, spread thin on so many different things. And you're getting that. So I love that for you, because this is the end. This is the end of that journey. Wow, the Tower, another ending. Okay. So this talks about two things I see here. Either you're learning this lesson and you're going to put down the burdens and you're going to learn that lesson on your own, or the universe will teach that lesson with something chaotic, radical, intense happening. And when that happens, that sometimes is the pause and the self-reflection time that, you know, propels us to make a change. So I truly hope, like, I'm not trying to scare you, I truly hope that you understand that it doesn't all have to be on your shoulders, that you, like, the world's not going to fall apart if you put down the extra burdens and the extra work. It doesn't always have to be perfect. You know, that perfectionism isn't what we think it is. You know, it's this need for control that we don't even have. You can only control your own emotions and your own reactions to events that are outside of you. The only things you can control are the things that are coming within your own discipline, your own determination, your hard work, absolutely within your control. How that gets, you know, accepted by others, how that pans out with in regards to your goals happening or not, delays, obstacles, you can't control that. No matter how perfect everything is, something might trip it up, something might hold it up, and there's a pause, and there's always a divine reason for it. So that surrender into understanding timing, understanding divine timing, understanding that you can't just force through, even if you're the most persistent, gritty person there is. Sometimes pauses are absolutely necessary, because we're human beings, you know, in this life. We're not machines. Because with the Tower, you know, if we don't make the changes that are required, or the adjustments, you know, we might learn them through, you know, and I don't want to scare you, but, like, you know, to me, this feels like someone who's overworked. So burnout, you know, maybe a disease that, you know, takes hold in the body because we're not paying attention to our health. You know, this could be a breakdown of a really important relationship because we're so focused on work that we're not also, you know, investing our time and our efforts and our energy in loving, caring, reciprocal relationships that uplift us, that were the initial cause of us wanting to build this beautiful life, you know, to bring ease for everyone around us. But it's not only on you, you know, that burden that you're holding on to, this, like, quest for this better life, it's not just on your shoulders. And I hope you know that you can only work for what is best for you up to the limits of your energy and your capacity, and anything beyond that is not your responsibility. There's, you know, there's something to be learned about taking pause, finding joy, finding humor, having balance, having harmony between all our various responsibilities and you know, pulls on our time and energy, and doing more of what uplifts you, doing more of what brings up your energy. So let's see, let's put three more cards here. Yep. So you don't want to pause. Oh my gosh. Okay. The Hangman, you know, this is talking about, like, I feel what this Tower is going to do is it's going to force you to pause. It's going to force you to reevaluate your definition of hard work and perfectionism, and being, like, almost, I don't know, like, worshiping at that, altar of the busy, always keeping busy, always having being productive, like being always in that masculine energy. And this is new moon energy. New moon is feminine energy. Feminine energy isn't always action and pushing out. Sometimes it's, you got to balance that with surrender, with intuition, with dreams, with meditation and introspection, because that's what Capricorn does. They don't just go and work really hard and grit and determine, their fate and just like go for it and constantly just work, work, work. They take pauses too. They reevaluate, they assess, they strategize, they, recalibrate their goals. They make sure that it's a very wise ascent to the top, working smart, not hard. So this pause that's coming towards you might feel like the end of the world, because it's so outside of your nature, but it's absolutely necessary so that you can bring in this harmony. You can bring in this evaluation of how you discipline yourself, how you work, why you do, your motives, and it's about making sure that it's not just for external praise. It's not just because you are so hard on yourself, or your expectations of yourself are just so high and unreachable. And to look into that, like, why do you tick the way that you do? Why do you react the way that you do when things don't go right? And bring more spirituality into it, bring more community into it. The support, the love, asking for help. Let's see here. Queen of Pentacles. Yes, my love, you are very much a queen. I feel this very deeply, that you are someone who wants to take care of everyone. You're very nurturing. This is a self-made woman who has climbed to the top through her own grit and determination. Absolutely beautiful energy. She is going to, she amasses her wealth. She is bountiful. She is abundant because she is extremely, you know, she's able to take all of the tools that are at her disposal and make something of them. She doesn't, she's very resourceful. That's the word I was looking for. She's very resourceful. And so beautiful energy to be in, but not if you are overindulging in the generosity, over giving, over nurturing. When people need to, learn their own lessons, you need to step back too. It's not always on your shoulders, is what I see here. So, this pause, it's kind of like reminding you of balancing your nurture outside and inside. Like, you need to nurture yourself as well. You need to replenish your cup. You need to feel fulfillment for yourself as well, not just for others. And like, what is that original vision that you held? Was it to raise your family's surroundings and lifestyle to something better, and put something out in the world that's all your own? And that's an amazing goal to have. But remember that you did it originally because of that sense of family, community, love that you had for everyone, nurture. And that should be a beautiful propelling force, but not to the point where you're exhausting yourself to get this goal done. Take balance, take time, take pause, reevaluate, take time with those loved ones you're working so hard with, and working so hard for. Let's get one final card. Yeah, I love that this card kind of gives you some attributes too. I love that it's a sensible and practical too, because that's what Capricorn is. It's an earth sign. It's an earth energy. Oh, this is the Capricorn card too. Capricorn, earth sign, Queen of Pentacles. You might have actual Capricorn in your birth chart, whether it's a sun, moon, or rising. It might be very prominent in your birth chart. This is naturally who you are. One last card of advice for group number 3. There it is. Page of Pentacles. Okay. So in the reverse, this talks about pages are messengers. So, and this has to do with your work. So I think you just recently had news, which is why this tower moment is kind of like, for you, because you've recently had news that there's a stall with your project, or there's an obstacle that you have to overcome. This could be actually work related, or it could be, something that's coming in from the outside to block you. So maybe, this has nothing to do with work, but maybe there's a personal matter that you're having to deal with that's kind of stalling you from putting your time into your project. This could be a family, this could be a friend, this could be the community that you're within. There's some type of situation that's happened recently, that's made you have to pause this business, this opportunity, this goal that you have, and it's really thrown you, because you feel now like, oh no, I'm missing all my chances. I'm not going to make my goal. Like you're kind of like the spiraling effect on you because you're so, like, once you have a goal, like, you really, it's hard for you to pause. You really want to just get it done. But I think there's a lesson here in learning about how pauses are also opportunities, how they allow you for time for introspection, for time for with loved ones, but also time to kind of recalibrate. Like, is this still what you want to do? And if so, is there a better way to get it done? Is there an easier way to get it done? Are there more people you can bring in to help you with this project, to be more efficient, to be more in flow and in ease? Because like when we are hardworking person, we just always assume it's like hard work means like it's physically hard, it's like emotionally hard, it's taxing, but it doesn't have to be. Hard work to me, sometimes it's like the type of work where you're very disciplined and you are, on a routine, and you do apply the time and you apply your grit, but you just, it's so fulfilling that you love it, that time flies. Like your day, like you look at the clock and you're like, I can't believe 3 hours just went by, but you've done a lot of work. So like to me, like that's when you are in flow, that's when you are in alignment with what you do, because you don't even know that time's flown by. You don't even know that you just spent so much time on a certain task or project or whatever, because it is so in alignment with what you love to do. And and not every part of a job is going to feel like that, I get that, but for the most part, like your day should feel really fulfilling, really like you've accomplished things, that you're not grinding all the time like this 10 of Wands. And I think that's what this pause is kind of trying to signal to you. Because if your job, your task, your goal, your opportunity here, it should bring you joy. Love that for you. I'm actually going to get you a healing card. I didn't do that for the other groups, but I feel like for you, like you get to get like a healing message. Let's get a healing message for group number 3. Group number 3, healing message. Intuition in the reverse. This is cacao. So, oh, sorry, initiation in the reverse. I apologize. Initiation in the reverse. Just sitting with this card. It is really, truly beautiful. The fact that it's in the reverse feels like something is holding you back. And to me, it feels like you're holding yourself back. Why is that? Let's take a look at the card. 38. So in the reverse, broken wings, self-destruct, lack of self-love, step out of your own way. And the 2 planets ruling over here are Uranus and Venus. So let's see the guidance. Quetzal has flown into your cards today, symbolizing initiation. The sky gods are speaking and bathing your soul in liquid light as you traverse a series of spiritual tests. The Quetzal is considered one of the highest divine apparitions, as it is associated to the snake god Quetzalcoatl. I believe these are all South American in origin, if you're wondering. The feathered serpent. Like Coco, both are considered precious heavenly gifts from the sky god. These divine apparitions today are asking you to deeply tune into the cosmic heart. Let it move you. Open yourself to receive the holy gifts provided and listen carefully to the light language pouring through them. You are elevating your frequency of limitless supply rooted in unconditional love. Step out of your own way and surrender to divine love. I don't know how many times did we get surrender so many times too. Yes, surrender with the Hangman card as well. You are on this like spiritual awakening journey as well, and I think it's just starting for you, that you're understanding how spirituality comes into play in manifesting your goals as well. So like you might be really good at doing the physical side of it, like the 3D side. So like, strategizing, goal setting, working hard, applying your knowledge, getting the right people for the right job, all that stuff. But there's this other side to manifesting your goals, which is the spiritual side, which is working with your intuition, your guides. And that word came up to me first too with intuition. You might have just kind of blocked that part of yourself because you felt like it wasn't practical, like it wasn't grounded enough, because you're an earth sign, and I feel like you have prominent earth placings, and that's okay. But in that case, your manifestations need to be grounded for you to believe in them and to kind of work with spirituality. So, to me, like that's like get plants into your life and, start working on um, making them thrive, because you're an earth sign. Nurture comes like naturally to you. Nurturing the earth comes naturally to you. And start, when you're taking care of these plants and you're watering them, and the greenery that comes into your space, like that is going to be very healing for you. That can be a spiritual practice for you. Maybe you write your goals down on, especially with this new moon, write them all down and then bury them in the earth. So outside, obviously right now it's winter, that might not be practical, but if you have houseplants, bury them in your houseplants. Make these little rituals, these little spiritual practices that mean something to you, that are um, more in line with your natural nature, to be a little bit more on the grounded side and not like doesn't feel too woo woo or out there for you, so that you can merge this practical side of you with this spiritual side of you, and then like amazing things happen from that. Like you're on your journey, you're starting. So try out different things and see what feels aligned to you, what feels right to you in the way that you want to practice your spirituality. Because new moon energy, this is the time to put out those intentions, those goals, write them out, and see how that comes about in your life. um, yeah, I love this energy. It's very, initiation. It's like the start. You're on it. Don't hold back. Don't have fear hold you back. It's okay to try things. And if they, don't feel right, they don't succeed for you, don't feel so bound by the outcome. It's a learning experience. Try something different. Try something new. Keep going. You have grit and perseverance. You know that. So apply it to your spiritual practice as well. Don't give up that hope. Yeah, you're really on the cusp here. I love this. Let's get you one more. All the other piles got a message as well, so let's get this for you. We're all just trying to get back to where we came from. Yeah, I love this. It's full circle, the initiation. It's like getting to know yourself back to who you were before all the outside programming, that inner child that was really hopeful, that was, magical in a sense, that knew that she had all of the tools and goals and um, abilities to live out her life, to have her dream life, and nobody was holding her back. You're getting back to that. I love that. I hope this was helpful. If it resonated, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And if you still feel inclined, subscribe to my page and you will get more readings like this one. Thank you so much.